All right, we're back in the bearded garage. America. Something that's been plaguing me for a while is this little guy right here. That is a ninebot made by Segway, and I think it's the mini. This thing does not charge. It doesn't do anything. And we're gonna try fixing it with some crap I read online. See what happens. Here we go. All right, first thing I did is I took the battery out of the bottom. That is actually pretty simple. There's actually 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 on either corner. They turn out that they are actually 3mm hex heads. Comes out pretty simple. When it does come out, one thing you'll find is you get a little rubber piece. That little rubber piece sticks right in there, if you can see that. All right, so just don't lose that. All right. I think the problem and thing I've read online is that the circuitry here in a battery of this size, 55, 56 volts or whatever the heck it is, won't allow it to feed power because it doesn't want to short out the board. So really, you just can't get power to the damn thing. So as soon as you take it out, you flip it upside down. Now I'm not going to tell you which one of these is positive and negative, but can you figure it out? I was able to determine that. I did a real quick test myself, and I'll show you how I did that. I do not know if all ninebots are the same way, so please don't take my word for it on positive and negative. If you blow your crap up or blow your battery up, it is not my problem. All right, so first thing you do, turn on the voltmeter, put it on volts DC. Batteries are DC. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the negative lead in one of these. Let's try doing this. Positive lead, negative lead. All right, you can see it's reading around 17 volts, but it's negative 17 volts. See that little dash? There you go. All right, then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate these around. I'm gonna put one in here and one in there. Now it's reading positive 17. So that means that on mine, the left one is positive. So that's how I did the test. You can do the test yourself. You can figure it out. All right, the next step to getting this stupid thing running is figuring out why this battery doesn't actually charge itself. So if you take a look, I have no blinking light. I don't have a red light, I don't have a green light, I don't have a blinking light. I don't know what the hell that means. So one of the things I read online, the suspicion is that this board doesn't operate unless there's 50 something volts, right? Well, we just tested the battery, it's at 17 volts. So to protect itself, it won't allow you to charge the battery. So what I'm gonna try doing is I'm gonna try cutting the leads on the charger and plugging it in directly so I don't have to go through the electronic system. Now, the way that's gonna work, see this ninebot power plug here? All we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the end off of this, all right? So this guy plugs into the wall, this guy plugs into the Segway. I'm gonna literally just cut it here, and then we'll just try plugging this end in directly to the battery, one positive, one negative, based on where the tape is. Now, real quick, I don't like destroying stuff like this. If you take a look, this is not the original. I actually went and called, looked around. I found motion4motion.com was a place I was able to find this battery charger. So I'm not actually cutting up the original one, but I'm gonna cut it either way. So I'm gonna cut this, plug the leads in, see if I can jump the battery a little bit. Once it's up enough to recognize, I'm gonna plug it back in and then try charging it the regular way. So we'll see how this goes. Here we go. All right, like I said, I cut that end off. Now I've got just these 2 leads. And the plug here, I'm gonna plug this end into the battery first, this end here, and then I'm gonna plug this into the wall. Hopefully I can jump the battery, and then I'll check it with the voltmeter and see if I can get a little bit more juice out of it, and then hopefully it'll get going. So here we go. All right, is that the best way in the world to do it? Not really sure, but now I've got a green light. When that first started, it was actually blinking red. Never seen that before. So I have it plugged in, and I don't know. All right, so now it's actually the next day, and I've got a different step. Now, I never had a light on here. Now I have a blinking red light. Here's what I did. Here's the steps that I did. Turns out that thing is red when it's charging, green when it's not. So I cut the wire. I actually plugged it in. Turns out in the last section here, one of these little connectors was not wedged down in there properly. That's why that was showing green. I fiddled them around a little bit and they actually turned red and it charged for a couple hours. That got a little bit warm, but not that bad. So I checked it about every half an hour just to make sure things were okay. I put it up off the wood table so it didn't light on fire. All right, so today what I did is, I came out this morning, I checked it, and now it's consistently at 27 volts. Now, 27 is still really way too low for this thing. But again, no light on, at least earlier today. So then I plugged it back in the machine. I just taped these up for now. I'll solder them or shrink wrap them later. And I plugged it into the machine. And once plugged into the machine, I took this cable and I plugged it in over there. Now I saw nothing happening. But I left it plugged in. I pushed the power button, let it charge for probably 2 or 3 hours. Nothing happened. Now, what I just did is I disconnected it and I plugged it back in, disconnected. As soon as I unplugged it, I realized this light was blinking green, which was kind of cool. But I plugged it back in here. Now it's blinking red. So I don't know what the hell is going on. It looks like I'm just going to keep it going until it keeps charging until it's green, I guess. It's not really, I can't really find a whole lot of info on this, but it looks like what I'm doing is making sense at this point. So, stay tuned. Maybe it'll be another couple days and I'll have this thing running. All right. So I let this charge, plugged in here on the table overnight. You can see I now have a green blinking light, which I think is actually pretty positive. Next thing I'm gonna try is plugging it back in. We can see what happens. You can follow along and hopefully this thing is gonna work. All right, we're gonna try putting this back in. This is gonna be just temporary. I will put it in and screw it in place. Let's see what she does. Let's put this, I think. She clicks back in place, that's good. Let's just put a 1 or 2 screws in to make sure it stays. I don't want to tip it up and have it the battery fall out or disconnect while it's running. That seems like a bad idea. So again, I'm just putting one in either corner here to see if I can keep it running or keep it working. So no way. All right, so that's how you get a ninebot running. That's a pretty cool. So from start to finish, all I really did was I pulled it out, I shorted the battery to get it running. Once I got the battery running, I had to use the actual original charger. Cut it, shorted the battery basically, or straight to the battery, shouldn't say shorted it. Pulled it out, put it on the bench, plugged it in here after I hit about 25 to 30 volts. I should check it again to see where I'm at, but it looks like I'm at full charge, so I don't know if I care. Next is to see if you can ride it. All right, here we go. All right, one of the last things we're gonna try out here before we ride it is to pump up the tires. You can see this one this one looks more flat. This one's kind of rounded. To fill it up, tip it over, doesn't matter which side. On the inside, you'll find a standard valve stem. All right, and I believe what you want is 45 PSI. So what I'll do here is I like hooking up these, just hook up the air compressor and then run these gauges here. So hopefully, and there we go. All right, made a couple adjustments to it. And it looks like it runs like a champ right now. So I'm still at just about full battery. Looks like it works great. Not sure how long the battery's gonna last. Not sure if I'm gonna have to do this again or if it just completely died, but I will give it a shot and I'll give you an update in a little while after I've run it down and tried to recharge it, see what happens. All right, this is the Bearded Garage, and we just got the ninebot working. Like, subscribe, and let me know if you got some comments, some questions, and I'll see what we got. Thanks, everybody.